Yo, what is the deal, everybody? What is the deal? Welcome to another Raider Nation Unlimited. I'm your man, Wasted Talent. Salute to everybody in the chat. Get wasted with your brother, Wasted. Tell a friend and tell a friend. You know how this thing goes. Share this thing out to all social media and everyone. If you are not subscribed, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. It is greatly, greatly appreciated and greatly needed. You know, I mean, we do things organically here, man. And let me tell you something. There's nothing better than getting organic growth for the channel through the sound of the great and powerful Wasted Talent's voice. So you guys know how we do. We don't cook until there's over 100 in the room. So right now, there is exactly 100 in the room. Get wasted with your brother Wasted. Now, guys, there are a few things to talk about, right? Now, some of this stuff are things that we've kind of kicked around on this show this offseason, right? But there is just certain players in certain scenarios that continuously come up in the media cycle. Right now, there's not a lot going on in the football world. And this is just something very, very interesting to unpack, I think, right? It's something very, very interesting for us to talk about, right? And it's also something very interesting to kind of go off into other realms here, because there's some other things that have been going on. Now, the wide receiver position on this football team is something that has been a point of contention by media pundits, people who are outside of the building for the Raiders. I am under the estimation that the Raiders address the wide receiver, situation through the draft, right? That's how I viewed it this offseason. Now, we have two rookies that we don't really know how good these guys will be. Trey Tucker is a guy who is another question mark, make or break season, right? And do we have the enigmatic Jacoby Meyer, who had a perfect season as far as from a drops perspective, but no one would really call him a air quotes number one, right? But the funny thing is, he plays like a number one, right? I said this previously on a different show. He plays like a number one, but he's not getting paid like one, and that's kind of the construct, and I think why people keep bringing up the Raiders bringing in more wide receiver help. Now, keep this in mind, right? You drafted a guy who looks every bit of the part of an all-pro. He was an all-pro as a rookie, right? And when you talk about that guy, we are talking about Mr. Brock Bowers, right? So Brock Bowers is a guy that you got right. You drafted. He's your guy. You have to leave the space and the latitude to be able to sign him to a mega deal when it comes this time. Now, I know it's the second year, so we can't be talking about that just yet, right? Then this year, you draft a guy that has not taken a snap yet, but is looking the part just from a college career perspective in Ashton Jeanty, right? So you got Jeanty. You got Bowers on the offensive side of the football. You got JPJ, who was looking like a young star player. And the Raiders have to make sure that they are leaving the latitude to keep their guys, right? So then it brings me to the Terry McLaurin issue, right? Now, there are a lot of people who are saying that Terry McLaurin is a perfect fit for the Raiders, right? I mean, Terry McLaurin's a guy in the first 5 years of his career had 1,000 yards each season with a hodgepodge of quarterbacks. He is a guy who just gets it done, right? No complaining, no throwing anybody under the bus, no throwing his helmet on the sideline, no crying and moaning at like number 17 did, talking about, I'm going to lose my life here. None of that shit. It didn't matter who was the quarterback, man. It could be Sam Howell. It could be Flotsam and Jetsam. It didn't matter. Terry McLaurin got it done, right? And the thing is, you wonder to yourself, what the hell is taking to watch the Commanders so long, right? Why is Terry McLaurin's contract with the Commanders more complicated? Why is it this complicated? What the heck is going on, right? You got former players like Joe Theismann coming out and comparing the man to freaking Jerry Rice and saying they need to sign him right now. So let's unpack this, right? Now, Terry McLaurin is a guy that, like I said, man, had a terrific season. He had his best season because he played with the best quarterback he's played with. Now, keep that in mind. In his 6-year career, he had 82 catches last year, 1,096 yards with a career high 13 touchdowns, right? He had 14 receptions and 227 receiving yards and 3 touchdown catches in Washington 3 playoff games, man. I mean, the guy was a freaking all-pro, second team. You know what I'm saying? He was a Pro Bowler, man. And listen, this guy is a guy who just has gone nuts, man. And it's the first time he's played with a quality quarterback. First time he's played with a quality quarterback. So now you ask yourself, how does this tie into the Raiders, right? It is looking like the Commanders and Terry McLaurin are not going to be able to get this thing done. I mean, they went out there and brought in a Deebo Samuels right under the man's nose, right? So this is looking like the Tyreek Hill thing all over again with Terry McLaurin, right? So that's where the Raiders come into contact and come into play, right? The Tyreek Hill situation was very, very, very unique years ago, right? People thought there was no way that Tyreek Hill would be a guy who the Kansas City Chiefs would allow to walk. And contrary to popular belief, that happened, bro. And it's like now you got to ask yourself, right? Why are you juxtaposing this? Why are you saying that this is the Tyreek Hill thing all over again, right? We got to look at it from this perspective, right? Now, McLaurin is in the final year of his 3-year, $69.6 million contract extension, right? He was averaging $23.2 million per year, signed around June of 2022, right? He has some salary escalators in there. He has some incentives being tied to him being in a Pro Bowl on the original ballot, right? So that made the deal up to $70.6 million. And McLaurin is making $19.65 million in 2025 and $25.5 million in the salary cap number, right? So when you really think of it on a visceral level, it shouldn't be hard for McLaurin and the Commanders to reach an agreement. But the reason and the quiet thing not being said out loud is the age of a Terry McLaurin right now. Terry McLaurin is a guy that is a little longer in the tooth, and I'm going to tell you why. When he played his first NFL season in the league, he was 24 years old as a rookie, right? So he's turning 30 this September. And this is one of the reasons why when people kind of link him to the Raiders, I look at it from a jaundiced eye, right? Now, we're going to bring this back to the Tyreek Hill thing. This is the same thing that happened with Tyreek Hill, right? You know, he was the NFL's highest paid wide receiver, right? He's about to turn 30, right? He got signed to Miami. It's the same kind of situation. He renegotiated the terms of his 3 remaining years on his contract last August without adding any new years. So he's currently making $90 million over 3 years, where $54 million was fully guaranteed at signing, right? So this is the kind of deal that a Terry McLaurin will probably be looking for, even though he's not as accomplished of a receiver as Tyreek, right? And the problem is now that Tyreek is starting to sun down a little bit, and I don't think that he's playing terrible. I mean, they had some horrendous quarterback play and injuries all around, but at the end of the day, it is almost organizational malpractice to pay an older wide receiver that kind of chicken, man. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. You know, so this is what the Raiders would be doing if we were to get in the Terry McLaurin business. We'd be getting a guy that's getting a little long in the tooth, right? Now, this is the thing, right? 2 things. There would be no doubt the minute that man walks in the building who the number 1 wide receiver is, right? He'd be the primary threat from a wide receiver perspective, right? And he'd be a guy who would get the lion's share of the targets. He is a guy who is box office. He puts butts in the seat because of his play, right? The thing is, what I don't want to happen with a move like this is for the Raiders to hamstring themselves with offensive talent without having the rest of the team outfitted, right? Now, this is the thing, man. I got to ask you guys. I'm looking at some of with the pundits around, the NFL. People are saying the Raiders are not that good. People are trying to talk trash about this team. Do you guys think at this stage in the game, we should go out and bring in a wide receiver, man? I mean, what do you think? I mean, my guy CGR, really quickly, and I got to acknowledge this, gifting 10 Raider Nation Unlimited Wasted Talent memberships to the masses. And I'm going to tell you something, he couldn't be kinder, because we need as many members as possible here. Thank you, CGR. If you got a membership of CGR, thank the great and powerful Mod Father himself, man. Oh, my God, man. Appreciate you. And my guy, Robert Cisneros. Rather trade and pay Watt. Trade and pay Watt. I'm cool with wide receivers. Yeah, see, that's the thing, yo. There's rumors out there that the Raiders might be in on TJ Watt. I don't see that happening, right? But that would be dope. To have Max and TJ Watt would be phenomenal. It would be freaking phenomenal, man. Now, this is the thing. The reason why I'm bringing the Terry McLaurin thing up is because there are rumors that the Chargers are in on Terry McLaurin, right? So you'd have Terry McLaurin over there playing with Herbert. That offense would be, man, on paper, that offense would be in defense, that team would be look like it's ready to roll, right? That team is looking like it's ready to roll if that happens, man. So it's like, is this addition by subtraction? Is this something we consider? I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, the thing that I'm most terrified about is our cornerback room. And why has there been nothing done with that? Now, I know they want to see what they have and play some young guys, but it wouldn't hurt to get a little veteran help over there. Yo, my guy, CGR, putting the link. It's right there. Become a YouTube member. I mean, what the F is going on here? Shout out to my guy. Shout out to my guy, man. Gary Kiss. He's on it like me. No more wide receivers. Now, yeah, James Williams. Yeah, you hear that, and then you hear bums like Craig Cartoon, and I know his name is Craig Carton, but I'm gonna call him Craig Cartoon, and I'm gonna tear into that chump pretty soon, right? I got a short I'm putting up. I'm gonna tear into Craig Cartoon pretty soon, disrespecting my team. You get bums like Mitchell Swart disrespecting the team. There's a lot of disrespect to go around. My guy Bo Rock, what's up, Wasted? Hey, I'm a 52-year-old Raider fan. Until we get on the field, we're still 4-13 team that lost 10 games in a row and got swept by our division. Things have to get better. And I'm looking at it like that. This is how I'm looking at it too. Now, this is my thing, right? Let's get back to the Scary Terry situation. Look, the Raiders definitely need to improve, right? The Raiders definitely need to bring in some more talent, right? But I just don't think the team is ready for that kind of move yet. This year is a year to build the foundation of winning, man. But there's a part of why you make moves that are germane to your division. You know what I'm saying? So this is the reason why I'm bringing this up, because I heard the Charger rumor. So would you do a little game of keep away? Would you get involved with the Raiders and run the price of the Terry McLaurin thing up just to get involved, just to play some games here, little gamesmanship? See, I think most teams build their team to compete in their division, right? Because winning your division is the straightest line to competing, right? Winning your division is the straightest line to getting into the playoffs. Let's just be for real here. Let me get down to here, man. Yo, Big Mike Raider is in the place, man. Shout out to my guy, Big Mike, man. That's a next year move. This year is somewhat of an evaluation of young talent type of year. If we overachieve, then great. But this is a next year move when we're a guy away from truly competing. And I tend to agree with you. Now, but the thing is, man, this is what we do here. We bring the questions to the masses, and we as Raider fans, we chop it up. What do you guys think, man? Before I move on from this Terry thing, what do y'all think? Is the Terry McLaurin thing leather right now? Is this something that you guys would be interested in? I mean, oh my God. Shout out to my dog, Big Mike, man. Simple as that. Evaluate and adjust. Find our priorities, then targeted spending only. That is a very, dollar cost average kind of move. You talking my language, my guy. Simple as that. Juju, Spy Tech building through the draft. I love it. I love it. I think we're all on the same sheet of music here, man. My guy Joshua said it ain't leather, right? He's saying it ain't leather. Raider Reaper. Glad Terry McLaurin is getting his flowers now. Wish Tyler Heineke did as well. He was a dog of a QB, literally Stafford 2.0. Raider Reaper, first and foremost, he couldn't tie Matthew Stafford's shoes. Get the F up out of here with that Tyler Heineke crap. The F is wrong with you. And go put an effing shirt on, kid. The F is wrong with you. But listen, I look, there are people that feel like this wide receiver room needs the alpha dog, right? A lot of people feel like that, right? Taylor, Tyler, who the F cares? Raider Reaper, what the F is wrong with you? I'm up here with your nonsense. F up out of here with that crap.
Shut your lame ass up.
But listen, the reason why I bring it up is because it is like the ghost of Raider players past this week, right? Now, let's get into this, right? Because there is another. It's wide receiver central here with the Raiders. It's crazy how that's what everybody keeps bringing up, right? So today, on a podcast down the dial somewhere, the great Lincoln Kennedy was talking about the rumors that are floating around about Amari Cooper possibly coming back to the Raiders, right? And, it was something that we kicked around. Look, we go live so much, we kick around these scenarios very, very, very often, right? So Lincoln Kennedy got his piece on it, right? And he crapped all over bringing Amari Cooper back. He crapped all over it. And you know what? I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it, man. Shout out to Lincoln Kennedy, man. Right? But I'm gonna go into some of what Lincoln Kennedy said about bringing back Amari Cooper and a potential reunion. And I want you guys to tell me what you think about this. I mean, Raiders legend Lincoln Kennedy had some harsh words for Amari Cooper amid potential reunion. Originally appeared on Athlon Sports. Shout out to them. But this was on a Locked On podcast with Q and Link, and I forget the young lady's name. That's one of their co-hosts. But shout out to them over there, right? And the Raiders have traded away Devontae Adams. We spoke about that earlier, right? Jacoby Myers is expected to be our top target. There are a lot of people that are uncomfortable with that. They're not trusting their eyes. They're trusting the name recognition, right? So people are saying that the Raiders need to go get a number one, right? They need an outside threat. And Amari Cooper is, I think, more of a possibility than Terry McLaurin, right? And many outlets, ESPN, all these different places have suggested that Amari Cooper come back to silver and black. Now, I know this is kind of somewhat, it makes too much sense to happen kind of stuff, right? Right? Now, Cooper was drafted by the Raiders with the number 4 pick in 2015, as you all remember, 10 years ago. So it will be a reunion, right? But this is what our guy Lincoln Kennedy said. He was bringing a smack. He wasn't playing around, and I'm here for it. He's a 3-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, and he's entitled as he's a accomplished-ass player, man. He said that, no, let me preface this by saying, I remember when Amari Cooper was drafted. I was one of the first guys on the Raiders to interview him. I looked in his eyes and realized he didn't want to be a Raider, Kennedy said. He didn't enjoy his time in Oakland. That's why he couldn't wait to get out of there. My point for Amari is that he never took the next step to develop his route running skills. He is not a good route running receiver. That's a harsh assessment by Link. I mean, what do you got? I mean, I've always thought that if Coop can't do anything, he can run a damn route. That's all Amari Cooper is. He's a name. I don't think they should do it. Cooper had a successful start to his career in Oakland, right? Cooper was a guy that we thought was going to be a star. We were shocked and dismayed when Gru got rid of him, right? But look, Lincoln Kennedy is not here for him, man. He is not here for any part of it, goddammit. Shout out to the 300 of y'all in the room. Get wasted. What your brother wasted? What the F is going on, man? Steve Harbaugh. No Terry or Butterfinger Cooper. Roll with the youth in the building. Steve Harbaugh. Shout out to my guy, man. My guy, Big Mike Rader, with a lot to say today. He goes, agreed, that mother effer can stay over there. Shout out to Lincoln Kennedy. You know that the flapjack pancake master, Lincoln Kennedy, is a Big Mike favorite. Thick frame approved. Thick frame approved, man. Keno, Coop ain't it. James Williams, the crop dusting king, is in the place to be. Only 2 second-round players have been signed. They were signed to guaranteed contracts. Yeah. So, look, I know a lot of you guys are sitting there and you're wondering about the Jack Besh thing. We've kicked this around. We've talked about this a million times. Jack Besh is trying to get that guaranteed chicken change, bro. And I'm not mad at him. But at the end of the day, all these – and see, this is the thing about the National Football League. This is the quiet thing people don't say out loud. These teams collude together. When people do outliers, they get eviscerated for doing stuff like that. Eviscerated. So this best thing is going to drag on, man, because there are a lot of second rounders that are sitting around with their hands out thinking they should get some guaranteed money. And look, the rest of the teams are not going to acquiesce to these guys, bro. It's not happening. I guarantee you the people around the league are pissed at the damn Texans. Gotham City Raider. Lincoln Kennedy was frustrated with the new regime decision to let Nate Hobbs walk without a contract. Yeah, man. Yeah, we'll get into that soon. Don't you jump the line, Gotham City Raider. What the F is wrong with you? You be jumping the line, Gotham City. And you know I mess with you because you are from Gotham City, or maybe, you from NYC. So you know I mess with you. An East Coast Raider fan, man. But you got to let the show take shape.
That's a tutorial that says you know what the fuck you doing.
What the F is wrong with you, Gotham City? Oh, my God. The thick frame master is in the place. The wrong and never right. Thick frame aficionado. S. Dot is in the place, man. S. Dot is in the place to be. Who is the fastest player in the Raiders offense and why we even not mentioning him? I'll give you a hint. He is related to the best running back in Raider history. I'll give you a hint. You get the F up out of here with your crap, S. Dot. Say what you mean to me with the F you say. Come here with that crap. S. Dot, let me tell you something, man. Mr. Bench Press, you got something to say, just say it. About to get blocked, S. Dot. You've been cruising for a blocking for a long damn time, S. Dot. Effing bum. Shout out to my guy S. Dot. My guy Raider Reaper. Worked out all year for this build. I got my Canelo versus Crawford and Raiders versus Chargers Monday Night Football tickets. That weekend is going to be a movie, Raiders. My guy, that's cool. That's cool. But put an effing shirt on, kid. And don't, you know what? The next time you do this crap, let me tell you something. You're going to be unceremoniously blocked. I have to regulate my chat. Young whippersnapper. The F was wrong with you. That's right, S. Dot is the chubby chaser. It's a family show. It's a family show. And Desert Raider, you'll get blocked too. You better get the crap out of here. We got almost 500 in the room, y'all. We almost at 400. We got to run these numbers up. Run these numbers up. Liggy T said, bro, taking MySpace pictures for the nation. What's up, nation? My man just said MySpace, yo. Shout out. You showed your age right there, Liggy T. The F is going on. So you say, what's the market value for a true number one right now? Like, you know what? The market is booming. The market is booming because Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, and look, man, these guys set this junk through the roof, man. They set it through the roof. You got them, you got all these young wide receivers getting paid, man. These dudes are getting paid, and that's one of the big reasons why Jacoby Myers is such a blessing. Jacoby Myers is a blessing, bro. Like that, the production that you get out of this guy. Look, Jamar Chase, $40 million. Justin Jefferson, $35 million. CeeDee Lamb, $34 million. DK Metcalf, to me, the most overrated player in the National Football League, $33 million. AJ Brown, $32. Amon-Ra St. Brown, $30. Brandon Ayuk, another overrated guy, $30 million a year, along with Tyreek Hill. T. Higgins, bro, they got like almost a quarter of their salary cap with the Bengals tied up into their quarter. Like, they probably got almost half their salary tied up into a quarterback and 2 wide receivers. It's insane, bro. T. Higgins, Jalen Waddle just stealing money, $28 million. DJ Moore stealing money, $27 million. Devontae Smith, very underpaid, $25 million. Nico Collins stealing money, $24 million. Michael Pittman Jr., $23. Calvin Ridley, $23. And Terry McLaurin with $22. Devontae Adams with $22. Chris Godwin, Stephon Diggs. Shout out to Stephon Diggs, man. I mean, that man, let me tell you something, man. I've been hearing, guys, I know this is a family show. I know this is a family show, guys. I know this is a family show. But, guys, I know this has nothing to do with the Raiders. This has everything to do with Stephon Diggs, right? But, yo, that man, I don't know if the reports are true. I heard that man cut Cardi B loose. He already cut Cardi B loose because her BBL was not smelling correct. Wow. I mean, yo, bro, I need, look, bro. My guy Raider Vader for Rochester up in the place, man. Shout out to my guy Raider Vader, man. Yeah, man. He cut her loose, man. Says she does the stanky leg in perpetuity, bro. Yo, David, yo, the East Coast is repping for wasted talent, bro. I love all y'all, man. Appreciate it. Yo, let me ask y'all a question, bro. Because look, man, I've been married a long time, bro. So I haven't, BBLs weren't a thing before I got married, right? So I've never dated or messed with a chick that has a BBL. But is that true, yo? Anybody in my chat, y'all gotta let me know something, yo. Did BBLs stink after a while? Because I've been hearing that, yo. And I know this has nothing to do with football, but damn it, I'm sorry. And this is why I love all of y'all, man. Y'all gotta put me up on game, yo. That must be a putrid smell. My man threw her out on the curb. That man said, you got to go, and wrote an article and threw her under the bus. Oh, my God. He said, Cardi B, Bodak yellow my ass. Y'all got to inform a brother here, man. Shout out to my guy, CGR. This ain't a family show right now, y'all. Kids, cover your ears. The BBL talk has commenced. Let me ask y'all. Josh EB is in the place. That's right. I'm after y'all, man. Yo, do they smell? Bro, you know what? I don't think dude was in love, bro. I don't think dude was in love. I think, bro, he knows that she gonna make him hot in the public eye, right? So it's like you kind of damn near using that, get some steam around your name, get some endorsement deals, get you in the public consciousness. I think that's more of what it is. How's it? Yo, because I'm curious whether a BBL smells. That makes me despicable. S-Dog, get the F out of here, bro. Or you get blocked. Let me ask y'all, man. Do they? Man, I don't know. But yo, Ronnie Hustle with the comment of the day, man. Farty B. Yeah. Oh my God, I gotta listen. Ronnie Hustle with the comment of the day. Farty B. Oh my God. Farty B is hilarious, bro. Sorry. But guys, let's get back to the football, right? And not the misshapen silicone footballs. But yo, and I'm not putting your name up on the screen. I got some dude in here, man, that's about to get blocked with that name. It's a family show. Man said farty bees, kid. Yo, but yo, bruh, not farty B, bruh. Leaky T throwing his food away. That's right. DeMokes is in the place. About to get blocked again. But let's get back to the football. I look, I'm sorry. But that's what you guys come here for. Yeah, simple as F. That's right. He goes, thank God I'm not dating in this era, man. 26 years and counting and marital. Bro, look, man. Look, dog. Like some of the stuff I see, I guess because of the podcast, I had to get back into like social media a little bit. I'm not a social media cat. My guy Taino's in the place, man. Shout out to Taino. Shout out to my guy Taino. Cheers to my brother Taino Raider, man. Peace to you. Yeah, man. I am not I'm not a social media guy. Like I'm good at it. Yeah, you got if I want to be, but it's just not my thing. But I see a lot of stuff that's very, very disheartening, bro. A lot of stuff yeah, you damn right the show's been derailed. Leave it up to Farty B. Leave it up to Farty B. But it's just crazy, man. Yo, Mike, permanent. Yo, that's nasty, beyond nasty work. That should be in the dictionary, the Urban Dictionary, next to nasty work, bro. DeMoke says, I'm 29 and single. It's wild out here. I just stay at home. DeMoke, you don't have no choice, bro. DeMoke, you have no choice. You are 5'11". You are a little troglodyte, and you have no options. You better be staying at home. But Farty B. But it's just sad out here, man. The way men and women deal with each other nowadays, man. Yeah, no, I'm barely a cell phone guy. Yeah, I don't be on my cell phone like that, bro. My guy Ant, what's up, man? My brother, I'm in a place to be. I'm in the gym right now. Thank you for the content. Y'all pay y'all bar tabs. And that's right. Pay y'all bar tabs. Please. Did Graphic get his cup yet? No. I'm actually holding it hostage until I get my jerseys. No, he has not, Taino. I'm very sorry. But he will not be getting them until I get my jerseys. It will be being held hostage right now. The F up out of here. Yo, my guy S-Dot with the $2 smackaroonie. Shadrick Jackson ran a 4.2 40-yard 40. So he's related to Bo. He said one of them, or we know who the F cares, S-Dot, with your measurables. Yeah, Big Mike, you know what? Big Mike, you will get yours, Big Mike. Matter of fact, Big Mike, send me the address. I will send it to you. Big Mike, but Graf will definitely. Let me tell you something. He'll have to get this pimp cup from my cold dead hands until he sends me my jerseys. F him. Getting crap. And Dan Tisa said Cardi stank has wafted all the way to Wastage Channel. That's right, man. That's right. Yeah, Frank, yeah, you're a little late. We're done with it. But yo, let's get back to it, right? So when we start talking about, where we're bereft of talent, what's going on. I'm looking at the defensive side of the football. Now, I saw some interesting takes, man, and people have Mike Hilton coming to us, and people have this and that. And I think that the way John Spytek and Pete Carroll go about their business is kind of that wait and see what they have before they go out there and spend, right? They're the kind of people before they go into the grocery store, they go into the garage, they go into the pantry, they go into the fridge and all of the cabinets and make sure that they have whatever ingredients inside. And then they go and buy exactly what they need. So I don't think the Raiders are going to be making a move until training camp. Now, let's hope that we stay as healthy as possible, right? There's some guys on this roster that, because we're getting more talent, they say the Raiders don't have a lot of depth. I just think people don't know this team the way we do. And my guy Kenny Clark said, I'm waiting to see who get cut. We all are, bro. Because I'm going to be honest with you, this team has more depth than people think. They don't have as much as they probably would need, but the team has depth. Like linebacker, you got some depth there, right? You have depth all over, as far as like with the offensive line. People don't think that we do. But you have guys that they went out there and signed, and you have some guys that played pretty well last year, right? Like Jordan Meredith and people like that. So I think that the Raiders, if they were to make a move before training camp or anything, will probably be in the secondary, right? And I'm a little, I guess because that's Pete's forte, I'm a little concerned as to why they haven't made a move yet. Wait, Rick Rock. Yeah, that's wasted. Thanks, Wasted, for giving somebody else the credit for the deck comment blowing up. What the F are you talking about? Rick Rock, what the F are you talking about, Rick Rock? What are you talking about? Are you talking, were you the originator of Farty B, Rick Rock? Is that something that you want on your resume? Is that something that you want in your eulogy or your not your headstone, but in your oh my God, what is it called again? When you die and when they put it in the paper, you guys know what I'm talking about. Is that what you want? Here lies Rick Rock, the owner and proprietor of the Farty B joke. Like, what the F are we talking about, Rick Rock? Yeah, there's some tough cuts coming, man. The obituary. Thank you, guys. The old man had a brain fart. Here lies Rick Rock, the owner, proprietor, and originator of the Farty B joke. I mean, this is a man who's had a full life. Farty B. No, I was talking obituary. That's right, Taino. But Taino, I'm holding your artistry hostage, and I'm very, very sorry. But guys, look, man. There are a lot of questions on this football team, and I understand, right? I was a little pissed off. Craig Carton had a lot to say about the Raiders, and I know we were 4-13, right? So until we're not, people are going to talk crap. But Craig Carton on his weak ass show said, you can't win with smoke and mirrors, cousin. Just because you have high energy and positive coach, it doesn't equate to wins. Now, this is a guy who likes the Jets. This is a guy who is a serial gambler, a little vanilla milk dud head bum. What an effing bum Craig Carton is. What the F does he know? This is a guy who has lied about, him almost getting Eric Mangini's job. This is a guy, man, F Craig Carton and F everything he stands for. He always talks about the effing Raiders. He needs to stick to watching his bum-ass Jets. F up. That's right. Rick Rock, a.k.a. Farty B Creator. The great Rick Rock. And thank you to Ronnie Hustle for highlighting the greatness of Rick Rock. The Jets suck, and so does Craig Carton in every take he has. Talking crap about Geno listen, man, I don't think it's smoke and mirror with the Raiders. I think there's a lot of substance with this roster, right? There's a lot of substance with the coaching staff, right? There's a lot of substance with the coaching staff, right? And I'm going to tell you one big reason why I know the Raiders are going to be better this year, and it's not Pete Carroll, right? It's Chip Kelly. It is Chip Kelly. And there's some people in the media who actually have a clue, like Ryan Clark at times, right? Like, but when we brought in Pete Carroll to be the team's head coach, man, it was met with praise by a lot in the media. You have some people who do this ageism stuff, but the thing is, man, you're only as old as you feel. And if you're a guy who has forgotten more about this game than most of these bums in the media, and he's engaged and his body can handle it, and this is what he wants to do, and he has passion for the game, who better than to bring in a guy who's won at every level, right? But what we've done is we've brought in a guy who has innovated at every level in Chip Kelly, right? Now, one of the major questions that we all had was whether Chip Kelly has changed, right? Because it's not a football knowledge situation here. It's not that the man can't coach. The guy is innovative as hell, right? The fact remains, Chip Kelly is a savant. He always has been. But they say that never translated to the NFL because in college, it's a little different. You're dealing with boys as opposed to men. And look, Chip Kelly's run the gambit, right? But there are players that were in the league, and Ryan Clark is one of them. He was talking about it on ESPN on Mina Kimes' show, right? He said he is a believer in Kelly as an offensive coordinator in Las Vegas. He goes, yes, I am. He changed, Clark said. In a day and age where what he started in college football is what everybody does. He had 3 pros on the outside of Ohio State. That's that were at times, it's obvious. I'm sitting here in the stadium. They're playing Notre Dame, who's beat up front. And he's like, you know what? We're going to go 12 personnel. We're going to run the football. We're going to find ways to use 21 personnel. And even though I have all these people on the outside, this is where I can win. And now, stop. Full stop. That is the genius of coaching, right? It is the execution of, dare I say, play calling, despite your ego. Ego and emotion is the enemy of reason, right? And a lot of times you get a lot of bright coaches in this league, man, who are knowledgeable. You get guys like Josh McDaniels, who is a knowledgeable coach. Knowledgeable coach. John Gruden is a knowledgeable coach, but it's like they can't get out of their own way. They can't get out of their own way. I think if Chip Kelly, and this was the thing that was concerning to me, is Chip Kelly one of these jackwagon coaches who is so bright that they can't get out of their own way? I'm praying and I'm hoping that the man is a changed man. Now, if you're going to apply the metric of what he did in college about the mentality change, we it remains to be seen with the Raiders, right? But the good thing about, and this is the reason why I think the Raiders are sitting in the driver's seat to be one of these teams that can make that ascension to the top of the league, right? And it might not be this year, but it might be next year, right? Is because when they're starting their new program, they have a guy who is a studier of film under center, a veteran who's been in plenty of different offensive schemes. I think that bodes well when you bring in a guy that's a savant, because I don't think that there is going to be kind of an erosion of what he calls to the quarterback that's under center, because you got a vet. Like when you have a younger guy under center that's kind of learning the game, you have to be measured in your approach when you're calling plays. You have to be mindful of that, right? You got to be mindful of that. It's like, you got to give them small bites. They say, how do you eat an elephant? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? So the magnitude of an NFL offense, especially with a guy that's a savant, who's got all these bells and whistles, and that is a daunting task for a young quarterback. Let's see. Now, Estott is saying, look, we will see how good Chip Kelly's offensive play calling is when the team starts 7 or 8 in the box. Well, Estott, look, let me tell you something. I think that this offensive line is going to be a lot better than you think, Estott. I don't think they're going to be great, but I think the fact that, when you got a DJ Glaze, when you got a Colton Miller, and you have a situation where you got a Jackson Powers Johnson who is looking to be the part of one of the better centers in this league, right? Now, I'm not going to say he's Creed Humphrey yet, but I mean, goddamn, he could be the next guy, right? And then when you talk about a guy like a Dylan Parham, he's never been a horrible offensive guard. He hasn't been a horrible guy. So look, S-Dot, I think you're making a little much of this. I think you are, S-Dot. Chip Kelly got humble and sent down to the college ranks, so I hope he learned his lesson from previous mistakes. Yes. Yeah, we do. Let's see, I just wanted you to address that. We do have some great pieces here and there. We'll see. Yeah, man, you're acting like we got Johnny Turnstile at tackling guard here. I mean, goddamn. I mean, Colton Miller is listen. I'm not gonna sit up here and call Colton Miller freaking Anthony Munoz. I'm not gonna call him Jonathan Ogden, but he's a pros pro. He is a pros pro. I think we're good to go, man. Especially if Caleb Rogers can be what I think he can be. Anthony is calling for you to go to the gulags, S-Dot. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? They are calling for your head here, man. They are calling to run you to the gulags like a scalded dog, S-Dot. Believe the crap from him. Simple AF. Quarterback, running back, tight end. Who in the West is set up better than the Raiders with all three combined? No effing body. Facts. Look, bro. I am going to stay measured in the way that I answer this, right? Those three positions, we're doing pretty well, right? But we don't know what we have at the Genty. Brock Bowers is a stud. And if I'm being honest, Geno Smith is a good quarterback, but we're not going to call him Mahomes, or we're not going to call him any of the Stafford guys like that, right? So look, I'm taking that wait and see out. I'm not going to sit up here and say, how great our offense is, because I've never seen Genty play in a National Football League yet. I think Genty is the straw that stirs the drink this year. I really do. I think he's a guy, and Pete Carroll said the other day that he's not going to just use one running back, but he's going to be the bell cow. If Genty could be, the equal of some of the great running backs that have come out, the last few years, the Saquon Barkley's of the world, Bijan Robinson is balled out, but it wasn't the same impact that we thought, right? Look, if we get 1,400 yards out of Genty as a rookie, we're cooking with grease. We're cooking with grease. I'm telling you right now. And look, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised, man. And I'm high on Geno, right? If you protect Geno, I'm high on him. The only thing I worry about Geno is he does have a propensity to throw interceptions. But when you look at some of those interceptions, right? And this is the piece that people don't look at. A lot of those were last second heaves into the end zone to try to win a game. A lot of them were him being ragdoll and under duress, A lot of those interceptions was him forcing the football because they were down by a lot. So I think Geno will definitely tighten his thing up here, man. He will tighten up that interception thing because, look, the Raiders do not have the latitude in the room to be a turnover-happy team. They have to be on the plus side of turnovers, man. As far as that metric, right? My guy Ray Deloso is mirroring my sentiment. Not all those interceptions were his fault. They were Seattle's O-line's fault. Yeah, I mean, I think Abraham Lucas was hurt most of last year, if not the whole year. He's a guy to Washington State that I wanted the Raiders to draft, but he's a guy that has a lot of talent. A lot of talent, Abraham Lucas, man. Yo, my guy, I have to be the first 12. Wait. I have to be the first one to admit I was very hard on Geno. Paul, oh my God, you disgusting, disgusting man. When I analyze his game, he's pretty dope, to be honest. You're hard. What the F is wrong with you, bruh? Damn, as the
Angry man. What you doing here? Man, sit your ass down.
F is wrong with you, S. Dot. Disgusting, filthy human being, you. He got to chill, yo. Anthony, he got to chill, bro. A turnover is a turnover. Geno has to keep him to a minimum. He don't want to hear nothing. And that's right, Steve Harvey. This is a family channel. The F is wrong with you. But no, like I said, man. S. Dot, you got to chill, S. Dot. And S. Dot was being positive, too. And here I go. That's what you get for being positive, S. Dot. Continue to be the wet blanket that you have always been. Tease, we will have none of that in here. Now, I know, S. Dot. I'm messing with you. But no, you're right, man. I like Geno Smith, bro. I like Geno. But look, the thing about me is do I think Geno Smith could have a turnaround the likes of which we've never seen? He has all the makings of that, but he has to actually do it for me to get super hyped and start, blowing smoke up his ass, so to speak. And I guess I got to pause myself. My God, Jack Burton, wasted Raiders. Let's talk secondary. I don't think this group is going to be as bad as we think. Now, look, Jack, I know you are you're a very positive thinker, right? And I am too, right? I think the key to how well our secondary plays is how we develop Porter, right? I think with Stokes, Stokes is going to be a solid starting corner. Solid, no superstar. He's a guy that has been injury prone, has a lot of talent, and he's right up Pete Carroll's alley. But Jacorian Bennett and DeCameron Richardson are the key to this secondary, man. Secondary. I was about to say secretariat. I'm bugging. Let me tell you something, man. Jacorian Bennett is the guy. Jacorian Bennett can improve off of the way he's played when he's at his best. We are in a great situation here. We're in a great situation. We are in a great situation. But I'm going to tell you something. If Jacorian Bennett doesn't play well and Porter plays like a rookie and Stokes plays like he's played or he gets injured or whatever, I mean, this secondary could stink worse than Cardi B's BBL. Oh my God, that is absolutely terrible. That was shameless. That is shameless from me, man. That is shameless. I can't believe it. Wow. Believe it. Shameless. A shameless joke. Ray DeLoso. Can Jacorian Bennett play nickel and Pete Carroll wants Porter and Stokes in the boundaries? I think he can. Why not? Why not? Why not? But you would want a guy that is probably a more stout tackler. More, I will prefer them to look elsewhere. I think Jacorian Bennett is a boundaries corner to his heart. My guy, Snake Fist, Kimpo, Raider. Greetings, wasted. Geno is one of the best deep ball throwers with Trey and Dante, Brock, Myers, and Best. Defenses should fear us. Hashtag hopefully, man. Man. So, look, man, I think what they're going to do is they're going to bring some of these guys that are these tweeners down. Some of these safeties, I could see Trey Taylor being a guy. Because Trey Taylor is a guy that's quick. He has coverage abilities like a corner almost. Size, explosive. He's an explosive young athlete. I could see that being the case too, man. Trey Taylor. I really do. But guys, look, man, we almost in at an hour, man. S. Dot. Bennett is not a good defense chaser all over the field. He is best on the boundaries, like Wasted said. I appreciate you, man. My guy, George Cortinez, the great and powerful, becoming a member of the Get Off My Lawn gang, man. Shout out to my guy, George Cortinez, the great and powerful. My guy, Tony Brown. I know he was offended Wait. I know he was offended, injured, often injured, wasted, but I do kind of miss Nate Hobbs. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You know, and you're not the only one that misses Nate Hobbs, my brother. You're not the only one, man. Lincoln Kennedy again, man. Lincoln Kennedy was on fire today, man. Link was talking about this over down there at the Locked On Raiders pod, right? They got a little show over there. And you know, the former All-Pro kind of laid it out. He says, I was heartbroken when we lost Nate Hobbs. Kennedy said, he goes, I love Nate Hobbs. I absolutely thought he was one of the best nickel corners in the league, playing that position with the amount of space in the center part of the field and being effective in the run game as well as the pass game. I thought he was an all-star to come. So I was absolutely heartbroken when we lost him. Now, Hobbs, as you all know, was here for 4 seasons, and he only played 51 of a possible 68 games. He missed at least 4 games in 3 of the last 4 years with the team, man. His injury concerns is a major, major issue. The Raiders do not want to be hamstrung with a terrible contract. So I understand why the Raiders had to do what they had to do. Look, the way you win in this league is to get younger and get production from those young, cheaper players right off the bat. Guys like Brock Bowers are why you win. Guys like Jackson Powers Johnson are guys that you win with. Guys like, hopefully Genty. Hopefully Dante Thornton. Hopefully Jack Besh, right? Listen, when you got guys like DJ Glaze who outperform, you have these guys. This is the cheap. If they're going to be good players, this is the cheapest they're ever going to be to the end of their career. So, my God, let me tell you something, man. The Raiders are doing things the right way. I think Hobbs knew he was going weak. I'm sure Hobbs knew. Sure he knew, man. Look, when you do some of the stuff, it's like even with the Colton Miller stuff, right? I think they're taking a wait and see approach. But I'll be honest with you, if he's balling this year, then he's going to say put a pin into it until after the season. He's going to rake them through the coals and at the table. Hey, wait, I think Lonnie Johnson's going to be playing safety and Chin is going to be in the slot. Man, look, with Patrick Graham, you never know. He uses so many different iterations of his defense and his sub packages. You got a mad scientist like him along with Pete Carroll. I think it's going to be a situational thing, whether they're dropping back at safety, whether they're bringing them in a box. That's what football is. Now you have a situation where you have a real head coach that knows real X's and O's. He doesn't have to defer to the people around him to be successful. If something's not working, Pete could step in and address it right then and there. And that is one of the main things that when I looked at this team, I said, man, I think the best thing that ever happened to the Raiders was Pete Carroll coming here and kind of stabilizing the program. Because sometimes if you have a new coach come here and it doesn't work out, it just adds to another log and lighter fuel to the fire that has been a dumpster fire over certain years. You just make the dumpster fire grow and grow and grow by that kind of stuff. You do. You got to stop the bleeding. And bringing Pete Carroll in means that you're just going to be competitive. You have a foundation of competitiveness. You have a foundation of good young players. You're in a great financial situation. Now, if he loses a little bit, cool. But then now the Empire strikes back. The Raiders go, they load up next season, and we're off to the races because it's a process. You don't go from worst to first, man. That's almost impossible. It has to be a process that you build on to get to a Super Bowl level. I don't like to bring up the past, but Pete Carroll is doing what he thought AP was what we thought AP was supposed to do instead of running his mouth and liking posts on Instagram. Yeah, well, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. To compare Antonio Pierce to Pete Carroll is not fair. You know, Antonio Pierce was a novice. Pete Carroll is a master at his job, and it shows every single day in his building. And I was hurting for Antonio Pierce, but at the end of the day, this was the right move. Shout out to my guy, Lord Buddy to the Biz Air, man. Lord Buddy Bear is in a place, man. Shout out to my guy, Lord Buddy Bear, man. Facts. As I said, I'm not worried. We have all kinds of weapons in that secondary with the mad scientist coach. But listen, the coach is not out there taking any snaps. And that's what you gotta realize. The coach ain't taking no snaps. It's them players, man. And if you don't have good enough players, it don't matter what you coaching them up on. They're gonna get smoked. Gonna get smoked. Salute to everybody in the chat. Get wasted with your brother wasted. Listen, guys, I think it's time for me to wheel the train to the train track. It is almost 7:35. We've been at this for over an hour. It's time for me to go and do my thing, man. Do my thing. We'll be back at you guys. I got some short pre-record content coming back at you, some long-form pre-recorded content coming back at you. We're just gonna be sick and silly with all of the with all of the content. My guy CGR gifting 10 Raider Nation Unlimited Smackaronis for the masses. Our membership is going through the roof, and I have you to thank for it. I appreciate it, bro. What's the deal? What's good, Wasted? Just walked in for work and caught the live. Hope all is well. Solly Mitchell, let me tell you something, brother. This has been a wonderful show, man. Go back, pay your bar tabs on the way out. If you haven't subscribed on all the other channels, go ahead and subscribe and sit down and gather around the fire and watch this episode. This is for my guy Solomon Mitchell, the great and powerful. But guys, look, I think it's time. It's time. I'm gonna get on out of here. Y'all have a terrific, terrific night. I gotta go, and eat dinner, go for my walk. Then I'm gonna go pump a little iron and then go to bed. The wasted one is getting back in the gym, man. I'm gonna be out in public a lot. I gotta get the body back where it used to be. I gotta be twisted steel and sex appeal. I don't know if I've ever been that, but let me tell y'all something, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. Y'all stay safe. Y'all have a great night. We're going to be back at you all week, man. Love every single one of y'all. Anybody that had a comment, subscribe, send a super, share some memberships, got a membership. You are greatly appreciated and loved, man. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Y'all have a great and powerful night. Peace.